What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're going back to FEUERSCHWANZ. Yes, indeed, FEUERSCHWANZ Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Java Devil, and Java Devil wanted to see me react to this. It is FEUERSCHWANZ with a tune entitled Das Elfte Gebot. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Napalm Records. No surprise there at all. And the video has 394,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. FEUERSCHWANZ, 110A, Das Elfte Gebot, album release, online, open air. Cool. I'm not even sure if this is a live performance or if this is, it says album release, so maybe this is just a playthrough of the album. That's very possible as well. I was supposed to start at 38:44, which is right where we're at. And I'm supposed to end at 42:28. Well, we know how that goes. Sometimes I hit the mark, sometimes I don't. We'll have to just wait and see how it goes today. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Der Titelsong unseres neuen Albums, Das Elfte Gebot.
Is this live?
Schlacht ist geschlagen, bleigraue Dunst zieht über ödes Land. Schon liegst du da auf einer Bahre, neben dir grinst der Sensenmann. Er spricht zu dir, fragt nach der Wahrheit, wie's dir so geht und ob du glücklich bist. Denn das 11. Gebot gebietet zu leben, als wartet morgen der Tod. Morgen schon der Tod, ja so steht's im 11. Gebot. Der Gebote 10 in Stein geschrieben, der Gevatter spricht, sein Strafgericht. Gott ist tot, nur ich bin geblieben und mein Gebot, das 11. ist Das 11. Gebot gebietet zu leben, als wartet morgen der Tod, morgen schon der Tod. Ja, das 11. Gebot gebietet zu lieben und zu verglühen, Flammenlichter hoch. Ja, so steht's im 11. Gebot.
Chordal progression. One for the chorus. 1, 3 to the 5 to the 7 to the 4. And then transition from the 4 to the 3 to the root again. I like that. It's not, I was expecting them to go 1, 3, 4 and then 7, 5 or 1, 3, 7, 4, 5. I was expecting them to end on the 5 and use the 5 as the turnaround point. Instead, they put the 5 in the middle. 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 4 is the turnaround point. I like it. I like it. It's catchy. It's definitely catchy. As far as this being live, here's what I'm seeing. Are they what we see? Are they performing live? I think they are. I think they are playing live. But now here's the thing. They're playing live. Yes. Is what we're hearing their live feed? No, I don't think so. I think that's a studio recording. It makes sense, to do that. You don't want to play a live performance of it. Okay, I want you to think about this. You have an album. It has 12 songs on it. Not every song is meant to be played live. Okay, it's not. Okay, there's going to be certain songs that are just not meant for the stage. I'll give you an example. One of my absolute favorite Kiss songs is a song called Not for the Innocent. It's on the album Lick It Up. Now, on the album Lick It Up, there are a number of songs that are meant for live play. Lick It Up, absolutely. Fits Like a Glove, absolutely. There's a number of songs on that album that are meant for live play. Not for the Innocent, despite the fact that I absolutely love that song, is not meant for live play. I have a bootleg of them performing that song live once. They performed it one time, and it failed so badly that Gene and Paul immediately removed it from the set list and replaced it with something else. I think they replaced it with, what did they replace it with? I think they replaced it with Strutter. But they learned very quickly this song is not meant for live play. It doesn't work, okay? On every album, there is going to be songs that are just not meant for live play. They are meant to be filler songs. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here. I think this song absolutely deserves to be played live. It's got a nice groove, nice chordal progression. It sounds really good. It's very pleasing to the ear. But if they were to do an album release and play every single song in a live setting with live audio, there's going to be hits and there's going to be misses. And some of those songs that are just not meant to be played live will end up coming through in a live broadcast. And guys, you do not want to set yourself up for failure, okay? So I believe what we are seeing is them playing live, absolutely. But what we're hearing is studio over it. I believe that wholeheartedly. It's not hard to do. It's real easy to do. You just pipe, while they're playing live, they have the music being piped in through their inner, so they know exactly where they are. They can play the song exactly along. They can look like they're playing, and they are probably playing the song. Absolutely. But what you're hearing is what's coming in through their ears, which is the studio recording. It's real easy to do. Very easy to do. And I don't blame them for doing it. I think it's a smart way. If you're going to do an album release and you want to do it in a live performance format like this, it's probably the smartest way to go. In all honesty, it's probably the smartest thing to do. Like I said, I believe wholeheartedly that they are playing live, absolutely, but you're not hearing it live. You're hearing studio. So, Anyway, let's get back into this. Let's finish this out.
Ja, so steht zum 11. Gebot. Das 11. Gebot. Es ist nicht tot, was ewig liegt, bis dass die Zeit den Tod besiegt. Denn das 11. Gebot,
Yeah, it's definitely studio audio.
gebietet zu leben, es wartet morgen der Tod, morgen schon der Tod, schon morgen der Tod, schon morgen der Tod. Ja, das 11. Gebot gebietet zu lieben und zu verglühen, Flammen lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot.
Yeah. And then they cut to the live audio afterwards. That's great. I went a little bit over. That's a bummer.
Lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot.
One more time.
So steht zum 11. Gebot.
Wait a minute.
Lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot.
Wait a minute.
Gebot gebietet zu lieben und zu verglühen, Flammen lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot. So steht zum 11. Gebot. Flammen lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot.
The cymbals are even ringing as the background noise. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what we heard was live. Boy, that is a risk. If that's the case, that is a huge risk. But here's the thing. I'm not hearing a cutoff. Usually when there is a pre-recorded job like this where, you know, they're performing live, but what you're hearing is studio, you'll usually hear a cutoff from where the studio feed ends and the live feed picks up. If there is even a live feed picking up. I mean, in this case, obviously there is. You can clearly hear it. But I'm not hearing a cutoff. I'm not hearing a studio cutoff.
Flammen lichterloh, so steht zum 11. Gebot.
Even the cymbal is resonating as the live sound is already crept in. I mean, that can be done. Okay, here's the thing. that can be done. But that means the live feed has got to be going the entire time that the studio feed is going as well. Which leads to two conclusions. Okay, so to be clear, there is no cutoff. There is no cutoff. Their mics are live the entire time. Now that leads me to one of two conclusions. Conclusion number one, what we heard was them playing live. Plain and simple. What we heard and what we saw were the exact same thing. That's one possibility. I'm not discrediting it. I'm not saying that's impossible. It's a very strong possibility. Absolutely. An equally strong possibility is their mics are live for some reason. And what we heard was studio, and they were just doing a lip sync job. Now, why you would do a lip sync job with live mics is beyond me. I don't know why you would do it. There's too much risk. There's too much opportunity for, while you're doing the lip sync job, to knock over a microphone or hit a microphone and the microphone picks up the sound. You know, or a mic falls over while you're singing into it and then the vocals keep going while your live mic falls over and hits the ground. I don't know why anybody would lip sync with a live microphone. That makes absolutely no sense to me. But here's the thing. I've seen it done before. I absolutely have. And I've always questioned it. I've always said, if you're going to do a lip sync job, turn off your mics to avoid embarrassment of getting caught. You know, I mean, that's ridiculousness. But it's either one. I'm not sure which. Either what we heard is what we saw, and they actually performed this live, or they did a fantastic lip sync job with live mics and pulled it off. I don't know which one it is. They're both kind of impressive in their own ways. Usually when people do lip sync jobs, I can catch it right away. I can usually, catch something, backed away from the mic, I hear three voices instead of two, I can usually pick something up. Everything lined up. Every time there are harmonies, it was two voices and two people on the mic at all times. Every instrument was represented in the sound. I heard the violin, I heard the guitars, I heard the bass, I heard everything. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Shoot. I'm in a really weird predicament right now. I may have to do some investigating. I might have to do some research on this and figure out what in the heck is going on. So, because and I know people are like, you're making too big of a deal about this, DH. No, I'm not, because this is going to affect the score. One way or the other. This score is going, and I'm not just talking about, 0.1 or 0.2. No, there's going to be a significant change in score depending on what I find out. And I have to find out because I want to score accurately. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was FEUERSCHWANZ with Das Elfte Gebot. This was a request from Java Devil. Okay. Before we go any further, I have to do something here. I have to completely admit that I was wrong.
You what?
Because I absolutely was. I'm going to be eating a lot of crow right now, so if somebody could please pass me a bottle of barbecue sauce, I would really appreciate it because I've got an entire crow to eat here. Upon further investigation, according to a number of sites that all say the exact same thing, this was in fact a live concert performance. They performed live, and what you heard was what you saw. The feed that we got was a live feed. They did this as an album release, an open air concert, but unfortunately due to COVID restrictions, there was no audience. So that explains why there was no audience. And just to make sure, not that I don't believe everything that you read on the internet, but guys, seriously, I mean, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. Just to verify it and just to make sure I was not being messed with, I did a little comparison. I went on YouTube and I found the official audio and I listened to it and I compared it to what we heard in this video. Folks, they sound completely different. The guitar tones sound completely different. The fullness that you hear on the original studio album is just not there in the live performance. So what that proves is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, between the articles and what I heard with my own ears in comparison between studio recording and this live recording, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever that what we saw and what we heard were the exact same thing. What we heard was live. So pay attention here, okay? I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Go ahead and hit me with corrections and retractions. Go ahead.
Corrections and retractions.
Yep, I absolutely deserve that. I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. So I am going to be taking, thankfully I was wrong, because that means I can actually take the live visual performance and take it into account with what we heard as well. So glad to see that we can do that. It works. Trust me, it all works out for the best in the end. So one more time, just to be clear, I was wrong, okay? And listen, I know I come off as arrogant, and I know a lot of people think that I come off with this know-it-all attitude. Folks, I don't know it all. I have a lot of experience in the music industry, but that doesn't mean I know everything. I've never claimed to know everything. So when I am wrong, I will be the first to admit that I am wrong, and I absolutely admit it here. So that's it, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's give the score here, and you'll see how I came up with that score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that overall presentation a 7.5. Yep, 7.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.5. What does that mean? Well, a 7.5 would translate to a really good scale rating because overall, I think this was a really good presentation. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B as in boy, B plus letter grade. Yeah, a B plus. So there you go, 7.5, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B plus letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha! So glad you asked. It's a really good song. It is. It hits you in a lot of great ways. The intro makes perfect sense. It sets up the expectation and sets the mood and tone for the rest of the song. Okay, I got absolutely no issues with the intro whatsoever. I kind of like the fact that it was led by the violinist. I kind of like that fact, providing that melodic line. When the song kicks in, it sounds full. It comes alive immediately, and it hits you right in the face coming out of that intro, which I really enjoyed. The vocal delivery on the song sounded really good, both from a lead vocalist standpoint and from a harmony vocal standpoint. Every time the vocal harmonies kicked in, they sounded nice, they sounded accurate, they sounded clean, they sounded precise. And in a live setting, not always easy to do. You get one chance. And they're doing this during a live stream. So you get one chance. There is no post-production there. You know, there's no opportunity. It's not like they're going to broadcast this later. They're doing it live as people watch. So you get one shot. That's all you get. and they were accurate each and every time. Gotta give them credit for that. I could hear the bass clear as day in the mix. It was nice to hear. Violin very well represented in the mix. Guitars, they sounded good. I mean, I like the thickness and the crunchiness. If I'm being honest, they could have come up a little bit more in the mix. I don't think it would have done anybody any harm if they had just come up a little bit more in the mix. But you still heard them. They were still represented, so I was happy with it overall. I would give the songwriting on this. Honestly, it's the best part of the song is the songwriting. I dug that chorus. Don't get me wrong, the verse was nice. The verse sounded good. It did the job. You know, it set up the chorus beautifully. When the chorus kicked in, it took over. It absolutely took over. It was the highlight of the song. It's definitely the hookiest part of the song without question. That chordal progression, the 1 to 3 to the 5 to the 7 to the 4, I dug it. It's not something you typically hear. I was waiting for the middle for the turnaround to be the 5. I was expecting them to go, 1 3 4 7 5 or 1 3 7 4 5. I was expecting them some way to end up on the 5 for the turnaround to go back again, and instead they used the 4. I dug it. I know it's a little different. It's not something you typically hear, but it very, very pleasing to the ear indeed. And I like the movement in the chorus. I like the fact it didn't just go up and down. It went up, 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 down, up. I like that. It kind of moved it, or it kind of moved around a little bit. No, it's like up, 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 down, and then I guess it did the same thing, didn't it? It just did it in a weird way. It did it in a way that's not typically done. I was expecting, I'm going to be honest with you folks, I was kind of expecting the old Z pattern. 1 3 7. I was expecting, or 1 6 3 7. I was kind of expecting that. We didn't get that. We got something a little different. So it was nice. It was nice to hear that. I would give the song on its own, just the song on its own, I would give it about a 7.1. 7.1 sounds about right to me, but I'm giving this a 7.5. How did that happen? Well, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you already know what I'm gonna say. So say it with me, kids.
Sing it out one time.
A live show can help your score or it can hurt your score. And I'm going to be honest with you folks, I wasn't expecting this because I thought it was, at first, I thought it might be, live, footage over studio audio. But as it turns out, I was wrong. And what we heard was live along with what we saw. So it helped. It actually helped. Let's go down the checklist. We'll see what I'm talking about. Stage presence, check, definitely. They look like performers. They act like performers. And they definitely deliver on that end. Stage energy. Yeah, there was some movement and motion, not a lot, but it was enough to get the job done. From the lead vocalist, from the backing vocalist, from the violinist especially was really moving around quite a bit. And then you had the two actresses come out as well. So, yeah, there was definitely energy on the stage. So we'll give that the check. Stage interaction. I'm going to give it the check, but that's kind of a weak check. The only interaction that we saw within the band, within the members on stage, was when the two actresses came out and they interacted with each other doing their little dance routine. It's interaction, yes, it absolutely is. It's designed, it's choreographed, it's programmed, but it's still interaction. So I will give it the check. It's a weak check, but it is getting a check nonetheless. Crowd interaction. Well, kind of hard to interact with a crowd when there's no crowd. I absolutely understand that. But if you're a professional, you should be able to do that. You should be able to imagine and pretend that there is a crowd out there in front of you and interact with that crowd. More so if you're doing a live stream and utilizing cameras. Remember, people at home are watching you. So when you want to interact with the people sitting at home watching you, what should you be doing? Interacting with the cameras. Well, we didn't see a whole lot of that, unfortunately. I am going to give it a check, but it is a weak check. There were a couple of times where I saw members of the band look directly into the camera and interact with the camera. Not in a passing way, not in a casual way, but very much with intent. But I only saw it like twice, 2 or 3 times, I think at max. So unfortunately, it's not going to get a big check. It's going to get a weak check, but it is still getting a check nonetheless. Showmanship. Again, I'll give it the check. Thanks to the couple of times that we had some interacting with the cameras, and the choreography that we had on stage with the 2 actresses, the 2 dancers. Yes, it is showmanship. Again, it's a check, but it's a weak check. There could have been a lot more done. So I guess the costumes would be considered production. I guess they would be. So yeah, we'll give that the check. It's bonus points. It's not a huge deal. I would never consider these guys a production-based band, but the production was there with their outfits. So yeah, I'll give that the check. So this is how, thanks to the live show, and thankfully me figuring out that this was in fact live after doing some research here and listening with my own ears in comparison and hearing the difference for myself, since it is an actual live performance, what we saw and what we heard matched up, I can take the live show into account. It did help the score a little bit, not a lot. It could have helped more, but we still went up from a 7.1 to a 7.5, so that's a 0.4 increase. Pretty good. So yeah, 7.5. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.5, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.